I'm going to upload 2 scripts that I wrote on the weekend that right now the way it's running is it's going to trade a breakout. It's going to enter into 16 tickets, and they're set to 10K right now. I have the buy and the sell side of that. I'm pretty sure it's symmetrical, and so that's running on a 15-minute basis, though. So you have to press the button when the ATRs. It's going to risk 3 pips and about 3 plus the spread max, and it's trying to make 9 pips max, but it's going to make it's actually, the ratios are good. Nothing preventing you from overpressing the button, though. That's always the caveat in anything is don't overdo it, right? Bottle of wines a day's, if you drink a bottle of wine every hour, it's different than a bottle of wine a year. And so this is the ATR on the left. And I took the ATR and I'm using that to build the script. And it's just about breakouts. It's not really about if the market's going up or down. Because here you can see on this 1-minute chart, it goes sideways with the right script. You would have got in on that. So I put a buy. I'm going to put my, I'm going to launch it right now. It's going to buy on stops. And it's buying a series of stops on the way out. So this is what it looks like. It's actually, I did the spreadsheet first, and then I plugged those numbers into the MT4. I'm using Plan Maker. Plan Maker is free out of Germany. I don't know what the, although it has the most intuitive interface. I don't know what this 42 is doing here. It's all screwed up. But this is the bid at 0. And when this says buy stop 3, this is not 3 pips. That's 3 pip outs, or 0.3 of a pip. So it's going to actually get in at 1.5 pips above. Of course, plus the spread. There's no spread in this. You have to imagine that. And on the left side here, you can figure out if your broker can handle the ticket. If you're trying to get in super tight, or you can just buy at the market at the, of course, you're going to have to pay this price actually at the market. You have to pay the ask. So if your ask is, if your spread is 2 pips, it looks like you're getting in up here. So ECN, he's going to get you in down here. You're going to get in, and this ticket is connected to, I think, well, it should be connected to, that I didn't check, so, but it could be connected to this one or this one. I have to crack open the, either way, it's about the fact that you have this soft stop down here, in case you're wrong, and the, so that would never happen. Okay, looks like we're going to try to go for 105. So we're getting out of this thing along the way, and here's the sell side. Is same thing, hopefully, and of course it's based on bid and ask, so it's going to be a different situation, but it's supposed to tear us out. It's supposed to have a climax moment here of cashing out and no duplication on exit. That I do know. It's the only thing I know. And duplication here though. So, but not when you drop it, because as this coming into the broker, obviously there's going to be a little variance. But that's a, kind of a soft stop, and this is a soft entry too. I could have got in hard across the board here, but this is based on the scenario that the market is going to, just do nothing. Yeah, it's based on, it's doing nothing, and then all of a sudden, it tumbles in, fills you, and starts to get out at this point. But it's getting out here, and then, of course, if it just nicks this, if it never even comes down here, it's never going to see these stops. They won't matter. That's the whole point of stop entry. So that is the idea, I think, because you're getting confirmation on as it's happening. And of course, it doesn't mean you can't get trapped, right? You put in at the wrong time. You can get trapped anywhere. It's like wearing high heels. Every time I go out wearing high heels, when I'm being Bruce Jenner, I catch them inside of those sewer lids on the street, and they get inside the manhole covers. But the you can. So the nice thing about the spreadsheet is you can. I don't know if you've ever done a spreadsheet, but a guy you'll never meet showed me how to do a spreadsheet. This you can, like your sequencing software, you can just drag that down. Of course, this is probably everybody's thinking, yeah, duh. But unfortunately, I try to delete the cells to the right. Don't ever try to do that because I zoomed out, thinking, well, let me just go for the last cell and just hit delete. And I loaded so much cells that every time I went to save what I was doing, it took forever. And I thought, man, no wonder the program's free. So that was an embarrassing moment. And or frustrating. And then but hard stop here, and you can have these profits a lot tighter, and you can make a linear stream. I just made it so that it kind of opens up as if the market's exploding into the scenario, and maxing out at 9 pips. So I'm almost out of the damn thing, but I've been able to get out, and I have some stuff that's lingering that's a long way targets. The greedy targets up here. But obviously we were going sideways. The ATR. If you like to draw trend lines, you can draw them on ATR. This is an old. It looks just like volume, but I think ATR is better because it's going to tell you which script to put in. So this goes to 10 pips down here, and this maxes out at 56 pips because I'm writing the next script to try to make 16 pips. So I can see where I'd have to drop it on the 30-minute chart. So here was a nice, dumbass entry. Even without direction to it, you would have had this. You can see this, right? Even falling, this sideways here for very long sideways period. The big crater here. There's a volatility crater, just like there's a price crater. It's all the same thing. The sideways form a vacuum, so this is just like your vacuum filter down here, and you could have your exits, but I'd say you really want to figure whether you're trying to make 10 pips or you're trying to make 30 pips, because you're not going to make 30 pips unless you go to, here's 56 pips. In the blink of an eye, of course, that meant you had to buy down here, though. Right there, right? But in 1 hour, boom. Pretty harsh here. Fall out of bed, non-directional entry. So the sell side should be like the buy side. Now here's the volatility drops off right about here. This would be your entry right there. Anything below 10, your buy stops and sell stops would have filled. You'd be partially short going into that, so you'd actually be dragged along, like it or not. And here's a slight drop below. You could have got in here early because that was the first drop of ATR below 10 pips. So you're slicing it pretty thin. It works on the euro, but the guppy, you got to make this thing max out at 200 pips. Okay, you're just custom tailoring this to the thing that you're doing. So, if you're playing an instrument that's high frequency, you need high frequency drivers. So you have to match. Right? You don't want to blow it up. And here's the trend line on ATR. 1 period ATR, that is. So instead of moving average on ATR, which ATR moving average 14, right? What's the point? You want a hard break of that, and you can see the vacuum forming. You could just take this down and hand place a level, a threshold. Here, you can see the threshold being taken out. You can see how many times you come below this into this sideways action. Okay, I'm just looking for a pop above the day, and this thing will be getting out. There's not a lot of... Here's a buy, right, on the 1 minute pullback. So I can put a buy stop in there. So I'm put this... I have a baby one. This is one, that's just a 10K. The other one's a monster, so I'll just buy on limits as it pulls back. So I redesigned this limit with super tight stops here. This is just really 15 minutes. Going to sit here and try to buy if it pulls back even a little bit. But here we are back to the good old round number. Go figure, like 106, right? Go figure. Who could see that coming? I can't. We went above 106 on Friday. Okay, so here we go. Buy stops. I'm gonna put this big hairy order in that I just showed you. And I put that on number 5 key, and it's I'm sorry, wrong key. It's a giant order. Look at this thing. It's 16 tickets stacking in. Now I kind of missed my entry, but it would have been buy on that pullback to that top bottom. It's just going to get in as it goes. Okay, put it in again. So that little pullback, I can, in this pretty tight entry, it's really getting in on before it even breaks 2 pips, and it's going to get out on that blast. And that's it. It's over for that thing. But 15 minutes. Now, if you waited another 5 minutes and it dropped back, and you're starting to ratchet in these stops above it, so that when it does cascade, if it keeps going higher, it'll just fill and exit. I mean, literally just taking like the hell. I mean, let's see what's making here. It's going to try to make 90 cents. I mean, the commissions, forget about rates, but it's padding the account a little bit as it goes out. So it's trying to make 1 pip here. Can't see the balances. I'll flip the profits so they're near the balance. So $300. Okay, so it's cashing out of something, I suppose, there. Yeah, we just cashed out. We get 108. Other bid's got to get to the... So looking for 5 more pips. And then that's it. So I guess the news came out. It wasn't a big deal. But it fluttered a little bit there. And then we got this pop here. We pulled back on that 1 hour, and because everybody's itching to go long. 5 minute looks like sellers are going to come in. It's kind of up in the air, but keep pushing it. You know, they just keep pushing up. I just got to give 3 more pips. A lot of people are getting it now here. I certainly am. I'm getting out where people are just getting in. I suppose that's the problem. I mean, that's how you just scalp it. You don't want to be hanging around for the. See right here, getting out along the way, so to speak. Okay. Other just a in the Dow Jones, the stock markets has to open in 25 minutes, so we could pop up here, and then that could be crazy when the stock market opens. We come screaming back at that point. Okay, I looked into the script here. So here's the actual scripts. I'm going to put in this this high tail thing. That's the sell side. The tightest stop has the first exit. So the this one here, this ticket, since it's getting in at the exact same price on all 4 tickets, this stop is connected to this. So the wider the stop, the more latitude you're giving it to cash out. You could run it the other way, where this one is connected to this, and this one is connected to this, and then the risk is more linear on that column. And this could be like a M15, M30, 1 hour. But I put it on 1 button. And you really want to make sure you don't hit that button too often, because that's a lot of stuff on 1 button. Of course, it is passive entry. Market's got to start chunking through and get to here. So the okay, so we pulled back a little bit here. I put the buy limits in. Still struggling to get above the round number. May not make it, so I'll buy on limits as it comes flying back. Yeah, that's it. The nice thing is it's cashing out of something. Not hard to make 3 pip. Not hard to make 1 pip. So you can make 1 pip. You spread here, so this is, I mean, you're really paying 30% shipping, but, and there is commissions on this, so let's face it, I may not be getting stopped out of this stuff, but it doesn't mean I'm not paying through the nose, so to speak, to put the orders in. Now here's the one that I just showed you. I'm going to launch that, so that's a big monster, 15 minutes. So they just popped it below in that 1 minute. They just stopped out. Who's ever got a stop here, or they filled a stop bot that just was selling that it's going down. Kind of difficult to watch the ATRs in the 1 minute, but you know they do perk up at some point. Here's the 15-minute ATRs. So you get this big possible. Yeah, big candle, so possible pullback all the way back to the starting gate here now. So this is a 15-minute 12-pip plunge ticket. And this one I set to 15 also, but it's deeper. So when this one gets stopped out, it picks up this 15 minutes, right? It's not going to happen, right? So we buy stops now. Okay. So that's what it looks like, that whole stream of 16 tickets on top. I keep forgetting where I put the damn button. What I was running the last time I did this was just one button, 10K per button. So this is just an immense position. It's like like $1 million of currency right now. But the leverage is 1,001. So that's all my exits. I'm going to get out as it's just continuing. If it continues, I'll just be getting out along the way. Just trying to, struggling to clear that thing. Of course, it's all about the clock. We're waiting for the stock market to open. So we could get either way. We're either going to, stock markets, cash market's a big determiner what the dollar's worth, so it's going to be a factor. So people got out here. I mean, anybody with a target of, you can see on the in 15 minutes they just made that. So that was this money here, that run. So depending on where your targets are, that's why those targets that people have that are so outlandish are just difficult to meet. Okay, more pullback, a little bit more buy stops in there. So hopefully didn't fill too many of those. That's why that progressive entry on the stop, depending when you press the button. See, they already took me out of something. So I was in, now I'm only 800,000. But I don't think I lost too much. I'll pick up some more tickets now. So it's kind of like you're really getting killed on these tickets because your stop is so tight. But it's kind of like this mosh pit trading, I suppose. If you're scalping, you know, it's just you're gonna get hurt. No way around it. 15-minute window though, not too bad for patience-wise. You know, I could almost get 15-minute, because if you just made money in 3 minutes and you're inside of a 15-minute thing, and this big burst here, this pullback, yeah, trend traders are going to come in on the 5-minute. People moving averages, people that can see it's going up, they would get in. But for the ATR guy that has a stop of, if you don't have a stop that is like 12 pips, you probably get kicked out of this thing. So this is also telling you how tight a stop you need to write your script for. If you just looked at pure this on the 15-minute, so you had a window here very low, and then not to say you couldn't have sell limits up there now capturing the pop-up into that, or have your finger on the sell key, and of course you might have scalped 3 pips right there because it's just on that 5-minute chart. Okay, this is the 15, and this was the retest of the triangle down here. You always get this classic like this is the double top, becomes the bottom. You get this, you can put an order pack right at the apex of this wedge here. And even the sellers that got in on that, which is probably some kind of previous price, they're, just getting that smash up in there back. Okay, looks like we're going to crush through on the north side a little bit here. I've been getting out along the way, trying to make like $200 here. It's only got to go up to 106.5 and on, so it's cascade exit. The very last part is, or you could have it so that it's different sizing, but I kept the size linear and I kept the profits to be, you're out of about 60% of the position by the time it gets to that 9 pip. Take profit. So you just, you can drag and drop that. You can double click that on a phone while you're driving. It's good. Put 16 tickets in while you're cutting somebody off in traffic. It's kind of the way to go. Also could be putting the sell side in right now. As the climaxes up here, if they're designed to just take a few pips, and the whole bank won't fill. If the market goes rocketing up, it will not fill that sell thing. But it may feel weird to have that idea that you're even thinking about selling or buying because of the whatever analysis you've done. This range, this is definitely critical. I mean, it certainly means volatility is kicked up when the range kicks up. Still waiting for this damn thing to go up, but seems like I always wait. But waiting for the stock market to open, really. It's going to be the big determinant. Of course, I'm expecting them to bid it up into the opening of the stock market, so they go above there and they go into that critical zone, which would be the high from Friday. Up into that, I'm going to exit at the high of Friday, and then we could get a possible pullback, or we're just going to shear its head off right to the top there and just go right past and just start crushing this up into here, this ledge. So it's not, I didn't put those orders there on purpose. This is randomly based on trying to make X amount of pips. So another funny thing about these markets is that if you're just trying to make 20 pips, you're like, well, look at that 20 pips. It really respects 20 pips. So yeah, because it's always bouncing up and down, so it respects everything. The market has no idea of that it exists. So I don't know how it has respect for stuff. But I mean, I used to go bowling, and I used to think that maybe if I thought really hard, I could make the ball, 16-pound ball, change direction. Okay, here comes the sellers. They're like, yeah, that's the top, man. We're selling. So here's a possible pullback. It's coming. Could come down another 8 pips. So now I put the buy limits in. Because I wouldn't want to, I'm already long. So it comes down here, spikes in. And if I wait 5 more minutes and it's still down, I put buy stops in. So here's just a 1. That's just a 10K there. But the other one's a monster order, and certainly you don't want to get trapped on a stop entry of that many tickets. Okay, I'm going to put it again. This is that monster order, but it's only trying to make 10 pips there. So you see how the exits are all interwoven. There's no duplication on the exit there. They're all different. And then here's that 4-banger at the top. This is what it looks like since it's a demo. Okay, so that's the pullback, let's hope. And now we're going to put some greedier targets in. Alrighty then. It's a long way to, it's just, so it could still come back. So if it comes back, I'm going to put these 15-minute psycho deeps in. Because right along with the market as it's dropping, that's pretty aggressive here. This is like 8 to 12 pips deep with a soft stop down there. Okay, so buy stops now. Look at this monster ordering again. I'm going to hit these kind of like just singles that are way out there, outer space. Alright, that's all you can do. Now we're waiting for 10 minutes until the stock market opens. Okay, let's see what happens. Okay, so they trap people up here at the top. I cashed out of something, I think. I kind of just gonna trap and pull back here. Every time we make a new high, we have people jumping on that sell train, new lows, people jumping on the buy train. Because who's gonna win, and where's the most amount of pressure built up? Is always the thing. It's pressure. Under pressure, you know, and then they get the resolving smack. Smacks up, and then it's over. Okay, just trying to make another $100 here. Stock market's going to be critical. Hopefully we're at 106.08 just as they open the stock market, and then maybe there's follow through the upside, and maybe it rips back. I have to buy the rip back. Got 4 minutes before the stocks open. Cash and the sellers. I mean, people like to sell that new high. They really are looking for about a 3-pip pullback here. I've gotten out of most of my stuff. It's pretty iffy though to sell there. It's kind of tough to sell when it's going up. I'm going to put some more buy stops in if it pulls back here right as the stocks open. Okay, so right here is more scalps. It's a stop entry scalp script. Now, buying at the market is a little different, but better price. But then you're deciding. On the limits, if I put the buy limits down here, I'm saying, well, you know, I'm going to buy based on a momentary plunge, and I'm only looking to make the money. I think I put the take profits in here to get out here, so it's going to get out back into the floor that it dropped out of. At least that's the idea. So this bottom here, market plunges in, just does that. That's all it needs to do to make money on these 15-minute retracement plunge orders, just like here, or even this on the upside. But any flat spots in there, anytime it goes sideways like this, certainly on the, if you had sell stops there, you counter trend trade that a little bit, make a few pips. Okay, some more buy stops. Looking for some follow through now. I'll put in a longer take profit now. A little more greedy target. So here comes the stock market. Okay, picked up another $200 margin. And there's this big void up here. No doubt we're going to fill that somehow. Okay, 106.10. So you get 50 seconds, supposedly, till the stock market opens. Okay, so people are buying this up into that. And we're scalping out. Oh no, we picked up some more tickets, so we picked up more margin. And you got 30 seconds. People sell right here, cash out, they get their 106. Trying to take out Friday's high. I mean, Friday's high, and then Monday's high is only 20 pips away inside of last week. So there's two hammers on the weekly. And it could be turned. Okay, 10 seconds here. So we should get a burst just as the stocks open, because if they start to sell off or even move anywhere. But just like we had the walk down into the other stock market opening, this is a walk up, so we could sell off, but we could just keep going. Right? It's like, no, but there's definitely this waiting for the cash to start. Okay, so stocks are open. In this 5-minute window here, you could pop up, you could rip back, you could go ripping back right now, because they bid it up into that just like they bid it down into the other opening. So both scenarios are possible. Always there's going to be this other possibility that it's going to go the other way. And maybe the bigger move's going to be the other direction. Because I'm getting stopped out of something I'm getting stopped in. Okay, so I'm going to put my monster buy limit keys in, and I got my buy limits here I'm going to put in, and my buy stops. This is just a tremendous order. So 3 pips below the round number there. So they trap people up there, see, and people with breakout systems have to ride a 3 to 4 pip pullback here. Okay, I'm going to buy that on limits. Now I'm going to put on stops because they just trapped these people on the 5-minute. You want to load these stops in as it pulls back and just chop that ledge off that 15-minute. And that 5-minute ledge is there's this here. So even though they're buy stops, put them in now because you're holding. This has got to follow through and keep tanking and crush down. For that to be a valid real sell-off, we got to just keep tanking. So there's the 15-minute, and this is the super deep 15. Trying to make it back here, but they just want to go get this trend trader stop. At least that's what it seems like if you're trading the way people have been taught. I will put my stop in there. Okay, I'm in some god-awfully giant position now. I'm in probably 2 million, 1.8. So 1.8 million euros. Alrighty then. So it's only been 3 minutes the stocks have been open. So we bid it up into it. We came back. Here comes the 5-minute. People are trying to get on before the 3-minute traders are already bought that pullback. So there was really fast pullback like that. You always want to try to buy a quick move like that because usually don't last. Okay, cash me out along the way. So waiting for, or if you had a buy limit here, if the spread was not right, you wouldn't have got filled. So if you're watching it happen and you had the chance to pull, see, I'm already up on these. So that was my stop entry. It was really market order, for God's sakes. So close to the market like that. Now they could smash down. Go right through that, shear off these stops. I'm hoping it got out of something right here. Now, how you design the limits is different too. So I think it cashed out of something because the margin just went down. It just seems to take forever. Of course, in hindsight, you'd say, "Wow, yeah, look at that, it went up." Yeah, it's a 5 minute. You know, if you're sitting in with any amount of money, it's really pretty disturbing. Okay, looking for follow through here. Just trying to make it to the damn 106.05. See how hard that is. See how long that takes to even make it. And take out the high of the day. Come back and take out the low of that uptrend. Now we've got to shear off these 3 wicks here. We're cashing out as they shear them off. So I just got out of something. And ideally, I'll be out of most of everything here in the next 30 seconds. 1 minute. It is unbelievably boring. But that was kind of exciting. It would be exciting if we just go up here and just be getting out of everything, and just leave a few bucks in there to swing trade it possibly. It's a pretty decent spread here. I don't mind paying commissions with a spread that's like 0.2, 0.3 on the euro. Wouldn't bother me. Send them a gift basket if I can make another $100 here. Oh boy. The reluctant bull. Yeah, stuff seems to take forever. Especially for the guy that's got a target at 109. Okay, here comes the sellers. Can they pull it down? Uh-oh. So who's selling here and where's their stop? If they put a buy stop here to protect, they're going to feel this move too. So there's no grand conspiracy, which is a real heartbreaker for, I'm sure, most people. The Earth's round. Yeah. I was watching this British chick this morning, and I entertain all ideas. Okay, I think we took the flat Earth off the list. Okay, I think I'm getting out of stuff. So I'm out of half of that now. We just need to go up 2 more measly pips here. Alrighty then. Okay, here comes the 10-minute traders. Alright, so we're getting out. There you go. Kaboosh. For the love of Pete. Finally. So, let's see what the margin level is now. So I'm only in 400K. So it's pretty much going to leave just these real outliers. The greedy ones are up. They still pull the take all profits key. We struggle just to go up 8 pips here. So here you could cash out everything if you just want to take your $100 and run $1,000. Whatever the number is, take the money and run. Steve Miller. Steve Miller trading. Okay. Yeah, 107 is the new frontier here. You can take out the high from yesterday, from Friday. It's going to be a rocky road. Sellers are going to come in, certainly, along the way. Those pesky sellers. That's the ledge up there, man. Shear that off. You're done for the day. I'm ready to get out now. Look at the sellers are coming in. They trapped these guys. You're the next contestant on the trap is yours. But that kickback on that 5 minute, man. So that's pretty tight stops. Yeah, not gonna get stopped out anything right now. So most of this is off the table, and those other stops are sitting way deep. Here's one here. That could be a take profit from the 15-minute plunge order. It's still sitting there. These buy limits are still sitting here for a possible fill. Okay. Here we go. Moment of truth, and top of the hour, some more news coming out possibly. Okay, so I could cash out of everything right now. But I'm barely in. Compared to what I was in, which is 10 times, almost, is it 8 times more margin than that on that move. Okay, so that's the deal. Let's put it in a zip folder with the, I have 2 photos, I think I took 2 photos of it. The spreadsheet software should come up. I'll put a link to the spreadsheet. I didn't like the other spreadsheets. I think they're stupid, but I tried 3 other ones. I couldn't get them to run. They looked bad, and they just looked bad. They weren't pretty. The Apache Open Office, ridiculous, and then the other hackney version of it or something, LibreOffice. It's brutally not good. No fun. They didn't have a fun factor to it. So we're waiting again for the top of the hour, so we can get out of this thing, go outside, and work on that gold Buddha. I put a gold Buddha in the front yard. I'm hoping the price of gold stays down, nobody steals it. That Buddha guy, he should have. I mean, those Buddhist guys, why aren't they like looking like Bruce Lee? They look like they just spent too much time meditating. He's like portly looking. Oh, come on, man. 5 more pips so we can go take a nap. Yeah, scalping has its, it just seems like it takes forever. Because if you're entering on a 5-minute chart, it's still going to take you half an hour to make money. Oh boy, it's just creeper gear drift up here. Should be some psychosis once we get to the high of Friday. So here's the infamous wick there, and then you figure this ledge here is going to be something to see. If they trigger that, shear that off. If I shear it off right into this doji here, we have this beautiful support becomes resistance right here. Double bottom becomes this big pivot price. Here's the price we're supposed to, the sellers are supposed to maintain that the warehouse inventory up there. Here's the big trap on the 105. Here's that top bottom here from last week. $10 pip. So my targets are 9 pips. 8 pips stop overall. I mean, soft stop. Top of the hour. Looking for another 5 pips. Okay, high probability that we're going to keep going up. But then high probability we're not. Okay, all the buy limits deleted themselves, and I just, yeah, all the buy limits are gone. So I'm really not in a very big position right now. Let's look for this final walk, another 5 pips up. And then we done with these boring business. And that's it. Gonna hit the take all profits key right now, or look for, let's see what's behind door number 3. God knows. Big pregnant pause here, 10 minutes before I think news is coming out. Pending home sales. That should rock things up and down. So that's why you want to get out along the way, because the next moment could spell disaster. Pretty close to the resistance line here. Half hour. So if you had a half hour breakout bot, you see you got trapped on either side of that. Here you got trapped if you sold into that too heavy, and here you're okay. Okay, it's 15-minute chart. Big pin bar here. Looking for that follow through of another 5 pips. It takes us to 104. Oh yeah, 10 and then 12. 106.12. At 106.12 we'd be totally out, I think. Except for these guys. All right, here we go. News in 10 minutes. So it could be a freak out short squeeze into the news, and then who knows. At that point, since there's no buy limits sitting here right now, I'm going to put in my super aggressive buy right near the markets. See, these are getting ready to fill. I'm within 10 pips. This thing's about 10 pips deep here. So if it does spike back, I'm not in too big a margin. I could afford to buy some more. These are the other hotkeys that are, I think I set these at 15 minutes, but these are longer. These are higher risk, but this is one trigger pull there. So the market just pulled back, and I couldn't trade it because the broker went offline. So they're filling me on my my buy limits now. So I'm gonna miss that entry, so to speak. Okay, I'm gonna put this hairy ticket in here now. Okay. They probably didn't take out this 2 hour. See, the 2 hour one's riding along. They didn't take that out. But there was a big pullback just before. Here, news is out now. So just before the news, the broker went offline. They pulled it back. They pulled all the way back to here and retested that wick. You can see it on the 1 minute chart. See this just before the news, and then they went offline, so I get gap there. That was the shakeout. Now that if my buy limits are sitting there, then that's how that picks that up like this. Try to capture at least a plunge. So huge trap up there. Great scalp to off the top. Okay, and I'm going to put these super deep orders in. So I don't know what the news is. It wouldn't matter. It's just about getting these flash crashes. Alright. Try to like something in that. Okay, monster buy stops. Okay, gonna buy this plunge. I'll come on top of stops as it's plunging. So put this giant scalp in here. $10 smash down. Right on the news. Just before the news. Now the news is out. Must be bad news. Okay. Still tanking. This is the breakout zone right here. This is what we broke out of, so we just got it. I don't even know how many orders are in there right now. Using oh jeez. So if it's gonna fill as if it goes up, it's gonna fill on the way up. $10 sell off in seconds. Look at, so that was a trap up there. 20 winner to sell new highs. So it's very counterintuitive way to make money. Looking for another possible pullback. Looks like not. Now, see how hard that was to get. Never made it to that. And it's all predicated on just drift up into the news. News comes out, smash down. Gosh, get out of most of this on the way back up. So if you trap these people, so those people are like, oh great, now see the sideways action here. Your sell, if you sold up into that, because you have these two baby candles, you made money on that sell off. If you were scalping out, I didn't hit that sell. I didn't hit the sell side of the thing, but you would have been cashing out into one side and out of the other. Okay, something's cashing out there. Now I can put the buy limits back in. Looking for another smash. So I don't care if I make my pips from it going up in the end, because if I can make pips on this high probability smackdown back all the way to the starting gate of that breakout, this backfill here, if I can make money on this bounce, I'll do that. Okay, 5 minutes has gone by. Got a hammer below this thing. Okay, I'm going to put in one more giant stop order. Getting in below this in this trap, possible trap, or it's going to tank, right? It's going to go to all the way down now. So I buy on the plunge, and I'm going to buy on stops if it goes down for another 5 minutes. Okay. Big giant stop order. And I think there's crude oil coming out at 10:30. There was another 5 plunge. Still can't make that 106.10. So it seems like a very doable target, but it's all about Price over time, as this thing comes up here, walking up, it just like fizzles. It just fizzles. Certainly if you were trying to make 10 pips here, you made it, with about a couple pips stop there. But you really have to take the money and run, because what if it, just like you had to take the money and run when it was going up. Okay, I'm going to put another big buy stop for the scalp, and then I'm going to put a longer term. I'm still holding these, barely up on these now. These longer term entries, wider stops, smaller position. And still looking for another plunge. Looks like it's going to sit here for about 2 minutes before we decide whether we're going to keep going down. So we're about 2 minutes here. There's no crude oil news coming out. It's just some guy's going to speak. But pending home sales came out, and that was a big ruckus here. And I guess pending home sales are way down. Of course they are. Interest rates are up. Don't be ridiculous. People can't afford anything. Be honest with you, people can't afford anything. People are broke. It's just, that's how it is. They spent too much money on, they're being put into the socialist system here, the healthcare. So they got to dismantle that. That's a big problem. Okay, we're cashing out of this thing. Right. Oh, finally going to make it to 106.10. So let's see the detour here. Only a 20 pip detour on the downside. Because I just have the long-legged profits here now. This one's going to get out when it gets up like 10, maybe 12 or 15 pips from here. Cashing out as it comes up into resistance there, as it's popping through all this stuff, because it's typically the trap zone. New high, new lows are traps. Breakout or fake out. It's definitely the problem with breakout trading is getting your target and your stop right, because you don't want to be around for the rest of the drama. If you're a 5-minute breakout trader, you got in here on this break and your stops here and you're out. Same thing on the downside, but man, you don't want to be around for, like, if you didn't take your profits here, you can't just get in here and say, oh, look, it's, because now what, right? Now possibly take out the high of the day after all that. We just went above the high of the day by just a quarter of a pip. I'll try to get some follow through now. Take out Friday's high, which is only about 9 pips away. Cashing out right up into that. So this is the scalper thing. It's quick and dirty money. You're going to find out if you're right or wrong. Doesn't take long. Okay, so it finally made it to 106.08. 2 more pips. 3 more pips. Targets are getting out here. About to cash out this one. That's the 15-minute buy limit. So this is when I was hitting that button for the spike entry. And since all those tickets had disappeared, this last bank here, it says 30 on there, but I think I made it to 15. I switched that to 15. That flash crash there, we picked up something. Plus, the buy stops I was loading as a trap beneath the, in this vacuum here. So even though it's down, even though the market's trading beneath here, I'm still putting in buy stops, even though they're actually coming in like pretty much market orders. Because having buy stops trailing on here is a late entry. You really want to be buying this vacuum. Okay, there's hope that we're going to make it up 2 more pips. But that drift and trap here was just a classic. There They're always trapping somebody. Okay, still waiting for the bottom of the hour now. Okay, we're back to this 5-minute window at the bottom of the hour, and we had a walk down pullback. I put in some more buy limits for the scalp. I gotta go up. I don't know if I'll ever see 106.10. It seems like a dream now. That's the thing. It's just take forever, right? Okay, looking for 5 pips. Cashing out of something. Still waiting. Okay, I don't know if the enough line. There's a big hesitation here at the resistance level. Just can't seem to muster enough energy to make it through the high of the day. People seem to drag this out. Can't we just get there? But this was a great. Have you have your targets right? That trade's over there. That kickback entry. Now, if that's a real breakout, it was a slight trap for about 5 pips. Now we're looking for that 106.12. Just can't seem to get there. Oh well. That's it's very, very. You need just a whole pile of patience for this stuff. It's a slow drift. Rally into this guy at the top of the hour is going to come out from the FOMC and he's going to say something. God knows what. Who cares? Top of the hour is coming, so a lot of people are just going to buy back their shorts here. So we trapped those guys, pulled back about 8 pips off the top, the high of the day. So you keep kind of grabbing up the high of the day and backing off, and those are definitely sell scalps there for somebody. But we're just trying to make it to that 106.10, which seems like a dream at this point. Finally, the dream has come true, and we made it to the 106.12, and I'm cashing out. Cashing out along the way. And big long-legged cash outs way out there in Disneyland. But that's the majority. The position's gone now, out. We'll just ride the rest of that. Buying pullbacks again with the 15-minute script. And this is the super deep one. So we can always come back. You don't have enough margin for the ride if you think it's going up. So it's going to get in at 15 minutes deep there. And that's it. Yeah, that's it. Good luck with that. It's you can always write your own crazy script.